again, and I suppose you could say 26th time lucky, because it was from their 26th corner that Real Madrid eventually would get the winner.
26-0 in corners. Well, that'll do it.
So just take a look at what that means at the top of the table. Barcelona, with a draw against Espanyol tomorrow, will see them crowned champions of Spain. For more on this, let's welcome in, shall we? Luis Garcia was with us. Luis, you didn't win.
Wow.
If that makes you happy, then I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Overall, though, Real Madrid deserved it. Showed a bit of spirit. The youngsters coming on, Luis, and kind of maybe putting some of the more veteran players to shame.
Yeah, exactly. You have to take the most positive things that we saw today. I think that Arda Güler had a good game. That's something very good for Real Madrid, trying to think about next year. Mbappe showed us that he wants to be the leader of this team from the first minute to the last one. He was trying every single time he was on the ball to beat players, to find the goal. Jude Bellingham even also, I think he did a good game, trying to work it out with Kylian Mbappe and Arda Güler, trying to link it between each other, trying to find that goal to make the equalizer. And it was the last one in the last chance of the game. But I think that's the most important for Real Madrid. Try to think about probably tomorrow Barcelona will have the chance of winning the game and get the trophy. But Real Madrid needs to start thinking about the FIFA World Cup clubs or whatever he was calling that we're going to have this summer. But the most important is what is going to happen in the next season. Who are the players who are going to fit to the next manager? Who are the ones who are going to be involved? And trying to find the way of making it stronger and much more, a better structure Real Madrid for next season and challenge for every single trophy.
And the excitement for the Club World Cup is just palpable from everyone we speak to. It really must be said. Right, not really much to wear. Look, Real Madrid beat Mallorca. They were better than them over the 90 minutes. Barcelona will still be champions. I suppose the one talking point you could say is Kylian Mbappe continuing his run.
Yeah, and look, Kylian Mbappe cannot control the criticisms that are coming over Real Madrid. Look, there's a recognition that there are struggles for Real Madrid, and he cannot cover every single position. He has certain responsibilities on the field, and he's taking care of his responsibilities. And you cannot sit here and criticize Kylian Mbappe when he has scored a hat-trick in El Clásico, when he scored today. And beyond the goals, I think from today what you can rescue from Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid, but particularly Kylian Mbappe, in a game that some people would say didn't matter, that some people say, well, this is an afterthought, he was engaged. And very much asking for the ball. Let me go here. Let me go there. Let me get in behind. Let me show for the ball here. Let me hold up play. Let me be dangerous. Let me be active. Let me create chances. This is what we expect from Kylian Mbappe. I don't know that we should be applauding that he's doing it, but it stands out because it hasn't happened all the way through from all Real Madrid players, and Kylian Mbappe is taking that leadership role saying, this game matters to me, and I want this game to matter for my teammates as well. It's difficult to do when you know the league is lost, but we saw an attitude today that I think is commendable.
Do you know, considering the amount of players that were out today, apparently they were all injured, some of them.
Well, yes.
Conveniently.
And I'm not sure if I'm alone in this, but there looked to me as though there was a bit of a spirit about Real Madrid today.
So the second half?
There certainly was. There was a spirit and a feeling that seems to have been missing for a long time. And it started with Mbappe and Bellingham. You know, Bellingham's running around there trying to do the work for 2 or 3 men. And it looked like a team. Now, there was quality missing in certain areas at certain times, but they actually looked like a team. And you saw at the end, they actually celebrated as a team. That's not what we've seen all season.
Jules is here, who has been championing Kylian Mbappe's cause from day one at Real Madrid, despite his poor start at the club. Jules, now you look at it and it's difficult to kind of throw any blame towards him, given the season that others have had.
Yeah, I guess so. And we see the numbers. I mean, 40 goals for a first season, 28 in the league, which nobody has ever done. We don't need to compare with former strikers and players at the club, but it's still very significant that he reaches those numbers on a first season where we've said all along this season the team has been quite dysfunctional in how they were playing. And yeah, it could be better. I don't think he's too happy either. He's happy by some of the goals, of course, and Ali mentioned the hat-trick in the Clasico, the hat-trick against Man City. There have been good moments individually for him, but overall he's not satisfied with the season, what they won, and more importantly, what they didn't win. And he's not happy by some of the criticism that he also received, and some of it was justified. Others maybe was just a little bit harsh, because things could have, of course, been better. Yeah, he could have defended a bit more. He could have tracked back more. The leadership that maybe we saw well today at times was missing. The attitude that we saw was good tonight. Maybe it was missing sometimes before. But overall, I think the numbers speak for themselves in a way, and for that, we can't really blame him.
And obviously now it looks to be a busy summer for Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti leaving to head to Brazil. Xabi Alonso coming in to take over. There's going to be a number of changes not only on the bench but within the squad as well, Jules. The big story today is Dean Huijsen will be making the move from the Premier League to Real Madrid. Much has been said about this youngster. He's got a buyout clause that is very nice. And you look at this from a Real Madrid perspective, it does seem like a no-brainer, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. As a Spanish international now as well, albeit from Dutch descent, if you want. But it's very special for him to agree to play for Real Madrid, for Real Madrid to get one of the most promising centre-backs and defender of his generation. For somebody, as you said, Dan, 50 million euros as a release clause that you can pay, I was told today, over 3 installments. So it's not even if usually the release clause, you have to write the check for the amount that the release clause is on, and that's it. This time they can even spread it over 3 years. So but I think, yeah, it's a no-brainer for him and for Real Madrid.
Luis obviously came through the ranks and very much shone, didn't he, when he was asked to for Spain's international side. A good signing for Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think it will be a very good signing. Of course, a young talent. We need to see if that way that he's been playing the past few months is consistent. He kind of was a new for all of us when he was introduced into the national team. But you can see after watching him a few games, you can see that he's very solid, he's very composed at the back, fantastic right and left foot, so he can manage the way of this Real Madrid side can be for the future, always knowing that Real Madrid is going to be dominant, so the problem is at the back with the space. I think Asensio has done a great job as a youngster play for Real Madrid, but he showed something that I think most of us didn't expect. So I think that Dean can do a fantastic partnership as a Real Madrid centre-back for the future, that I think that it was very important for the club just to try to have that transition, bring younger players, introduce new elements to try to build a stronger team for the coming future.
Meanwhile, we talked about it yesterday, a lot of speculation about Florian Wirtz's future. Will it be away from Bayer Leverkusen? Will it be at Bayern Munich? Or, Jules, will it be at Liverpool?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think Liverpool, the latest club to join the queue, really, because despite the price that you will have to pay, whoever you are, to sign Florian Wirtz in the summer, 150 million euros, probably something like that. Around that, it could be a bit less, but we're thinking a package all over around 250 million when you count the wages for the next 5 years too. One, there's not many clubs that can pay that. Two, there's not many clubs that he would want to play for either. So I think if you count Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Man City, and potentially, I guess, Real Madrid, although they have other positions to strengthen, as much as Xabi Alonso would love to have Florian Wirtz with him next season, it's certainly not a priority, a player of his position. But for the other three, I think, yeah, whoever wins is the big winner of the summer. It's a lot of money, and you need to have some money left if you're Liverpool or City to also strengthen other positions. You can't just go for Florian Wirtz this summer. Both squads need more than just Florian Wirtz, as great as he is. But yeah, it seems that the queue is getting bigger and bigger behind him.
Who are you choosing, Luis, out of those three? City, Bayern or Liverpool?
If I have to go for one, I will go for City. I think it's one of those clubs that can have that amount of money. I don't think that Liverpool will be ready to invest that such amount. And I think that he's a fantastic player. I'm not sure if that kind of talent will arrive, if that what he provides into the game will reach that transfer fee. But again, the transfer fee out there to be broken, and I think that any club will be happy to have a player player with that talent, that youth. I've seen him in the last maybe few hours in so many jerseys that I really don't know what the ones who are leading to get this player for next season.
Ali, you've seen him play every game, what, for the last 3 years?
Yes, I have. Special talent.
Right.
He has a really, the thing that stands out for me is that he has a really good feeling for the game and what the game needs from him. Sometimes he'll run in behind, sometimes he'll come short, sometimes he'll dribble, sometimes he'll hold up the ball knowing that there is a pass that is going to develop. That feel for the game I don't think you can teach, and Florian Wirtz has a lot of that. He would be, in my estimation, a tremendous signing for any of these teams, but especially for Manchester City, given the fact that you're having Kevin De Bruyne walk out the door, in comes Florian Wirtz, similar profile of a player with more of an attacking, I think, instinct than Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne, much more of a passer. Florian Wirtz, he's looking for the pass, but he's a dribbler and he's also a finisher.
What does that say then about Phil Foden's future?
It puts it in a little bit of jeopardy.
Yeah.
Phil Foden finds himself 12 months on from being the young star for the future and star for that present
being the player of the year.
The player of the year. Is he going to get shoved? Well, he would have to be shoved wide. Now, the question is, will Phil Foden be happy playing in a wide position? And if he's not, then again, you could see City cashing in. Why not? You know, Phil Foden comes on the market. There'll be a lot of teams looking for Phil Foden. So, if I'm Phil Foden and I don't want to play in a wide area, it could be curtains for him at City.
And the other thing that I would say about Florian Wirtz that I think it's critically important, if he were to make a move to the Premier League, a lot of the questions from players that are coming into the Premier League is, well, is he tough enough?
Right.
Can he handle the physicality? There's something to like about Florian Wirtz, and in terms of the attitude with which he plays the game. There's a little nastiness to Florian Wirtz, and he doesn't shy away from the contact, and he doesn't shy away from defenders. Knowing full well that he's going to receive contact, knowing full well that defenders are coming after him, he is very much a willing dribbler. I think that Florian Wirtz, if he wants to stay in Germany, so be it, it'll be a Bayern Munich. But if he wants to take the jump, I think he's ready for it.